My story no longer was like necessarily my story. My story was a lot of people's story.
Not all heroes wear capes. Some wear heels, lashes, and the kind of courage that can change lives. Welcome back to Queen Central, your go-to place for stories that matter, moments that move us, and queens who redefine what it means to be powerful. I am your host, Gloria Hole, and today we are diving into one of the most honest and heartfelt moments ever seen on the Drag Race stage. In a world where silence often feels safer than truth, one queen stood tall in the spotlight and chose vulnerability. Trinity K. Bonet didn't only walk the runway, she walked in truth. When she revealed her HIV status to millions of viewers, it was not just a confession, it was a revolution.
I just wanted to see me, somebody who was really like dealing with it, tell their story authentically.
She shattered stigma. She opened hearts. She reminded us that strength doesn't always come with sparkles. It comes with honesty, resilience, and the courage to be seen. Here at Queen Central, we celebrate queens who use their platforms not just to perform, but to uplift, to educate, and to heal. Trinity's journey is more than a Drag Race moment. It is a lifeline to so many still living in silence. So sit tight, stay open, and get ready to be inspired, because the fiercest thing you can be is yourself. And Trinity showed us just how fierce that can look. Who is Trinity K. Bonet? From Atlanta, Georgia, emerged a queen destined to shatter expectations. Trinity K. Bonet was not just another performer on the rise. She was a storm of precision, beauty, and untapped fire. Known for her jaw-dropping lip syncs and uncanny Beyoncé impersonations, Trinity stepped onto the Season 6 stage with a blend of beauty, vulnerability, and quiet intensity. Beneath her flawless makeup and legendary wigs lived a story waiting to be told.
I understand how y'all feel, and I get it, but I need y'all to understand how y'all making me feel.
The courageous reveal. Midway through Season 6, the tone of the competition shifted. In an episode filled with glitter and gags, a real moment cut through the sparkle. Trinity looked at her sisters and revealed the truth. She was living with HIV. The room changed. For a second, time seemed to pause. The queens listened. No mockery, no shame. Only silence, then love. It was not a cry for sympathy. It was a declaration of existence. Trinity laid bare a reality that many live with but few discuss, especially in the drag world, where strength is often mistaken for silence. Living with HIV, a personal struggle. Before Drag Race, Trinity carried the diagnosis quietly. The fear was not just the virus, it was the stigma, the ignorance, the whispering, the hesitation in people's eyes. In an industry built on illusion, she feared the truth might unravel everything. There were battles we didn't see, navigating medication, managing energy, and pushing through fatigue with a smile and stilettos. The show gave her a platform. She gave it purpose. Viewers saw more than just a performer, but someone brave enough to face fear and call out a culture that sugarcoats the truth. The cost of silence and the power of speaking up.
I think for me, my biggest thing was I love clothes and I love fashion, so I wanted to give a different vibe as much as I could.
For many living with HIV, silence is not a choice. It's a defense mechanism. The world still whispers the word HIV like a secret, cloaking it in outdated fears and moral judgments. For Trinity, the decision to reveal her status on national television was not about making a moment. It was about making space. Space for honesty, space for education, space for those who feel invisible. What she did cannot be understated. She took a taboo subject and wrapped it in human truth. When she looked into the camera and spoke, she wasn't just speaking for herself. She was speaking for the millions around the world who don't have the platform, the acceptance, or the support. That moment echoed far beyond the Drag Race workroom. It echoed in homes, in hospital rooms, in hearts that needed to hear, "You are not alone."
What do you do successfully? Quickly.
I hate that every time we're in Untucked, the conversations are about me, because that's what part that kind of really teased me off.
Trinity's strength and evolution on the show. Trinity walked into Season 6 unsure of her voice, but by the time she walked out, she'd found it. Each challenge, Each critique, each moment on the runway pushed her forward. She didn't ask for pity, she demanded respect. Her performances spoke volumes. Whether channeling fierce divas or delivering heartfelt sincerity, Trinity reminded audiences, diagnosis does not diminish artistry. With support from queens like Bianca Del Rio, who saw her not for her condition but for her fire, she bloomed. And that bloom was unstoppable. From fear to fierce, a role model in real time. On television, we often crave perfection. Polished queens, sharp comebacks, untouchable glamour. But Trinity gave us something more important, realness. In a world craving authenticity, she offered her raw truth, her doubt, and her quiet evolution. And we watched her grow, not just in makeup and performance, but in self-belief. By refusing to be defined by her diagnosis, she redefined what resilience looks like in real time. She showed that strength doesn't always roar. It sometimes whispers through tears, through courage, through one more step forward. Many Drag Race fans were young, queer, and navigating their own identities when Trinity appeared on their screens. For them, she was more than a competitor. She became a symbol, a reminder that who you are and what you carry does not disqualify you from greatness. Shifting the conversation, why Trinity's moment mattered. Representation in media matters, but representation with vulnerability is revolutionary. For too long, pop culture either ignored HIV or portrayed it through lenses of tragedy and loss. Rarely was it shown as something a person could live with, thrive with, or be proud to speak about. Trinity challenged that. Her reveal was not framed as defeat, it was a demonstration of strength. It forced a mainstream audience to confront its assumptions.
I went to a ball, and it was like, oh, if you get tested, you get free admission. I was like, oh, that's $30 I could save, okay. So I got tested, and later on throughout the ball, the guy brought me back in the back, and he was like, I just want to tell you that you were positive, and I was like, okay.
It demanded better conversations, not just among viewers, but in homes, schools, clinics, and queer communities across the globe. In doing so, Trinity joined a lineage of brave voices in LGBTQ plus history, those who refuse invisibility. She brought the topic of HIV back into pop culture with empathy, dignity, and stunning lashes. Her legacy in the drag and HIV awareness community. After the show, Trinity transformed her platform into a purpose. She became an outspoken advocate, not just for visibility, but for education. For the young queer kid afraid of their diagnosis. For the adults still living in secrecy. For the families that need to hear what strength truly looks like. In communities where stigma silences many, Trinity stood tall. She was not just a queen. She was a mirror for others to see their worth, their beauty, and their power. Drag Race gave her the world stage. She turned it into a classroom, one where shame is rejected, truth is embraced, and life, with all its complexity, is celebrated.
Two queens stand before me. Ladies, this is your last chance to impress me and save yourself from elimination.
Beyoncé, ballroom, and breaking barriers. Outside of advocacy, Trinity's drag itself broke boundaries. Her impersonation of Beyoncé wasn't just homage, it was transformation. Audiences saw not just a queen lip-syncing, but embodying a cultural icon with precision, power, and grace. She brought ballroom confidence to the main stage and elevated what drag performance could be. Her fashion choices blended classic femininity with commanding strength. She turned every runway into a statement, sometimes glamorous, sometimes conceptual, always unforgettable. And with every look, she reminded the world that Black queens are not only the foundation of drag culture, they are its future. Trinity also used her art to explore identity and expression. As a Black queer person living with HIV, every step on stage became a radical act of defiance and self-love. She did not ask the audience for permission to be herself. She dared them to witness her in full. Trinity on All Stars and beyond. When Trinity returned for All Stars 6, she was not revisiting the stage. She was rewriting her legacy. More polished, more commanding, more fearless. Her fashion reached new heights, her confidence was electric, and her presence left no room for doubt. She walked with experience. She competed with clarity. She inspired not through spectacle, but by simply being. The ripple effect. how Trinity's story continues to save lives. Since her time on Drag Race, countless fans have come forward with stories of how Trinity's courage empowered them to seek help, come out, or even stay alive. Her bravery created ripples, seen in social media DMs, HIV testing booths, and therapy offices across the world. In cities where resources are scarce and stigma remains high, her story travels far. In countries where LGBTQ+ rights are under attack, her presence offers hope. And in communities where silence still threatens lives, Trinity's voice breaks the pattern. She has become a symbol of progress, not just for HIV awareness, but for drag culture, queer resilience, and unapologetic truth. Her legacy continues in every HIV awareness campaign she joins, every panel she speaks on, and every young person who sees her and dares to believe they are enough, just as they are. Trinity K. Bonet redefined strength for a new generation. Her story is not just a chapter in Drag Race history, it is a symbol for millions. She faced stigma and walked through it. She shared her truth when silence felt safer. She proved that honesty can heal, educate, and liberate. Her courage changed the conversation around HIV in pop culture. Her presence turned whispers into dialogue. Her legacy? A reminder that visibility saves lives. From inspiration to impact, Trinity K. Bonet didn't just entertain us, she educated, empowered, and elevated us. Now the question becomes, what do we do with the inspiration she gave? If her story moved you, let it also motivate you. Speak openly, support those living with HIV, dispel myths, challenge stigma wherever you see it. Don't let conversations end at the screen. Carry them into your homes, your schools, your communities. Donate to HIV support organizations. Share educational resources. Advocate for inclusive healthcare. And above all, see people fully, not by diagnosis, not by rumor, but by their humanity. Trinity's journey shows us that one voice can change the narrative, but it takes all of us to change the world. Were you moved by Trinity's journey? Let us know in the comments below. If you would like to stand with communities affected by HIV, consider supporting organizations like the AIDS Healthcare Foundation or local LGBTQ+ health centers near you. And don't forget, darlings, drag is not only about performance, it is about presence. And every story, like Trinity's, brings us closer to a world of truth, pride, and fierce resilience. Stay tuned to Queen Central for more stories that celebrate the queens who changed the game.